Hello, everybody. It's now that wonderful time of the day when we play Hearthstone Hangman. For those of you who are not watching yesterday, this is just a fun activity that we like to do between the breaks here at PGL Spring Tavern Tales, where we have the name of a Hearthstone card for our Hangman game, and the players, this time Arnij, who we're going to see later today in a match, has to guess the name of the card by, of course, first trying to guess letters. So, hello, Arnij.
Hi.
Okay, so this is the card. The name has 2 words. And, just whatever you feel like, whatever the universe is communicating to you right now, tell me 1 letter. You have 5 wrong guesses. After 5 wrong guesses, the stickman is going to be Ripperino.
I'll guess the letter E.
Yes, we do have several E's. So we have 1 here, 1 here, and we just keep going and going with the E's. It's incredible. It's a great start. So, what else do you have for me?
A U.
A U. You messed up this time because we do not have a U. But now we have a torso for your stickman. And we're gonna make him ripped. That's it. Who says that esports are not healthy? Okay, yeah, it's like I think I gave him like 8 boobs, but it's okay. What other letter comes to your mind?
An A.
An A. We do not have an A. We do not have an A, but that's okay because now we can give some biceps to yours. Oh, no, wait a second. I got ahead of myself. I'm sorry. Okay, so that's 2 wrong guesses. You have 3 more.
A Y?
Why did you have to go with Y? We do not have a Y. Now I can make your other bicep, which is longer than the other, but that's okay. You want a hint? Okay, this is a priest class card. You know, a priest, like praise our in Jesus.
A V?
A V. We do not have a V, unfortunately. But you're getting whispers from somebody in the back right over there. Yeah. Somebody is cheating. But it's okay. It's not cheating. It's actually helping in an illegal fashion. So, you have 1 more guess. Do you want another hint? Okay, like somebody that rhymes with Rofar just told us, it's a card that actually costs 6 mana.
Oh, I think it's a mech, but I don't know the name of it. No, wait, that's fine. I.
An eye. We do not have an eye, unfortunately. But that's okay, Arnij. That's okay. Do you want me to fill out the letters until you guess? Okay. So you say the letters while I write them, okay? Or then tell me when you guess the word, okay?
Sure. Temple. No, I really don't know the card. What the hell? No, I never played Priest. Wow.
Arnij, you keep giving me excuses, but I'm going to give you a banana and a sticker because you've been such a great sport. And today you found out something new.
Yeah, I found out the new priest card.
Okay, here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for playing. And now we're going to let Arnij go and try and think about what he's done wrong here today. But I'm sure he's still going to have lots of success today in his upcoming match. And now I would kindly ask the casters to please take it away.
Thank you very much. Well, now we know that you have to play more arena to know those cards, right?
You knew
That's how
that
we
straight
get
away,
to-
though, Lothar. I think you should play the next one.
Well, no, thank you. I'm
After
gonna
you
sit
did so
here.
good in the show match the other day, I mean, you should just keep going with this.
You probably know why I know those cards, right? Because I probably would have played them at some point of the
Yeah.
game. But anyway, we're back here in PGL Spring Tavern Tales. We have the second quarterfinal ahead of us, and we just saw that Thais and Powder were playing it out for longer than an hour, actually, right?
Was it that long?
I think it was a
Control Warrior matchups.
Contra Warrior against a Reno Jackson that went to fatigue, and that was the fifth game of the whole match. So it went. It was a 3 versus 2 for Powder. So Powder advanced to the semi-finals. But now the next match is who's playing Raven?
It's MooDy versus Anid. That's how you say that name,
Okay,
right?
MooDy versus Anid, of course, the representative from our home country here in PGL, which is Romania. Then you need from France. But with us sitting here, Tessin, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fine. Really looking forward to the next match since I've been practicing with MooDy, spoke about him again about this matchup, and I lost against Unid yesterday. So
Yeah, the excavation of evil was kind of evil, right?
yeah, for sure. So
Okay, good to have you here, and we will be casting with us the upcoming match. But now let's make a quick throw to the videos of the players and see what they have to say.
I played only one match against Tessin. I went 3-1, almost 3-0 with my priest.
Today I think I played pretty well. I think I won because I made some adjustments to my decks. I switched 2 decks, and I expected my opponent not to switch. And I think I won mostly because my lineup was better against him. So basically, I think I won because I prepared better.
When I bring a lineup to a tournament, I always focus on the decks I want to play, I want to have fun with. I need them to be good also to be able to win games, but I mostly want to always bring decks I enjoy playing. So even if maybe if I brought like Secret Paladin and Zoo, I would not have fun. I would not want to play my games. So I always bring fun decks like Priest and other things.
If I win here, it would actually mean a lot. It would be my first big tournament win. Of course, it's like the fame, the money, the Hearthstone World Championship points. I mean, I want to win. I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna try hard.
It would mean a lot to win the PGL tournament because it's an incredibly stacked tournament. A lot of very, very good players like Thais and Crane. So I guess it would mean a lot for me to make the French community happy and just to prove myself as a player because I never won a big tournament before.
And now we know, and knowing is half the battle. So we get to know the players, their strategies. I really hope that Unit will be playing his priest again, but this might not be the case because the players could have changed again the decks around, right? They stick to the lineups today, so they could have prepared for one specific opponent in the round of 16, but in the round of 8, when you bring your lineup, you have to play it for in the round of 4 if you advance and in the finals as well. So we have the classes. MooDy brought a druid, a paladin and a warlock, and Unit brought a druid, warlock and a warrior.
Yeah, so no priest, and
Unfortunately.
what's interesting is one of the quotes from Anid in that video was I like to play fun decks, nothing I could take secret paladin so on, and then we see Warlock, Warrior, Druid, and I'm like, I'm kind of worried that we're going to see very standard decks here, but I still have a hope. I have a hope that something's going to be a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
So a Mildred. Probably not, right?
No, that's probably the answer that they'll get thinking of that one.
Most people are like, does this even exist? Yeah. Well, we'll see. Desmond, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I believe Unid is probably the one who's gonna play something special. I know that MooDy will play something standard. I spoke with him about it today, and he will actually play the lineup I played yesterday, because he don't believe that Unid will play the same priest deck to counter. And as we can see, there's no priest, so I believe MooDy feel confident.
Yeah, and there's definitely something to be said for just taking just good decks, right? Just standard, they're tested and proven to perform. So I think that's pretty good. But again, with these classes, I'm just interested to see what Anid actually brings out, see if there's anything too crazy in there.
Yep, I really hope there will be something crazy. It's Excavated Evil yesterday was a lot of fun to cast, a lot of fun to actually see the interaction with the board and in the matchup, because it was like ripping apart his opponent, right, Tessin?
Yeah. Oh man, I hate Polish Red and Doomsayer together. It's not working out that well. But
yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. Like, Unid is really known in the French community. He's still a rather unknown player in the European or international scene, right? Because the French players are usually closed in their own area. But hopefully this will be the tournament for Unid to shine and go through. But MooDy is also counting on this win a lot. He's third time in Bucharest being broadcasted as a player, so this is another chance, maybe third time the charm, to advance and get to the next stage.
Yeah, and every single time you come to an event like this, or even just play on camera, so you're on stream, it gets that little bit easier. Just as you get used to it, you get used to the cameras being around you, and obviously you sat just facing your opponent, and you can make all the weird eye contact to just pressure them. So, you just get used to that sort of atmosphere, as opposed to people turning up to this for like their first event, playing like in a studio with cameras everywhere, knowing they're going to be streamed and getting casted. It does add on that extra pile of pressure.
Yeah. Interesting enough, this PGL event is the first event that feels kind of like a house cup, right? We have here the atmosphere, people playing, sitting around the broadcast players. They talk, they watch the games on the screens, and it feels different. And it feels awesome to be in this studio that PGL built specifically for esports.
Yeah, and it really is good. And we actually see the predictions here where it looks like Unid's getting the favoured side of it, except for Gosu gamers who are going against the grain there and actually going for MooDy in this. It's still very close though, whenever anyone's around 50%, it's still obviously a very close matchup, or at least that's what the viewers think.
Yep. Well, predictions for you guys?
Yeah, I believe then you look at the lineup, I believe MooDy got this. Like, the only decks he was scared of, there's none of them. Like, Freeze Mage would be a problem for him, and then he's really afraid of the Priest. But
yeah, and I think, again, from what you told me about the MooDy strategy in terms of their deck choice, and just presuming that Unid wouldn't bring the Priest again, and because that's worked out, then I just feel like MooDy's a little bit favoured. But, if Unid's going to bring like more crazy things in his decks, then it's very difficult to play around something that isn't standard.
Yep, that's true. And we already see one of the cards that is not standard in most of the decks, right? Which is Elise Starseeker. In the Contra Warrior, I would say.
He played it from the start. Like, I played against him yesterday and lost, but also played him in the spread in the start. And he played Elise in a lot of decks, the Priest deck, the Warrior deck, so...
And look how valuable is that Elise Starseeker. It's a golden legendary which creates golden legends, if I'm not mistaken, in this case, right? Yeah, wow, the dust value.
Yeah, really interesting. Let's go. I didn't actually get to cast Unid's games yesterday, so I didn't see, or at least see in depth all his decks. But the Elise, it'll be cool to either see this is the Warrior where it actually curves out really low, and it just has all the removal in it, and then relies on Elise later on to just remove, swap out any spare cards you have lying around into legendaries and win the game through that way.
That's true, but he is facing Zoo, right? And the Zoo will just try to apply pressure as soon as possible. So is Elise even a decent card in this matchup?
I really believe it depends on which kind of Zoo it is. Like, is it Sea Giant Zoo, Demon Zoo, Standard Fast Zoo? But I believe that MooDy is bringing the Demon Zoo with the white colors.
Well, we'll get to see that in a few moments, I guess. Because there are a few cards that would tell us that there will be a void color, right? If there will be a Mal'Ganis, if there will be like any other non-standard demon, or we'll see just the void color itself, right?
For sure. Right now, it just looked like the fast zoo version.
Yeah, and looking at Un33d's hand, actually, it feels pretty terrible at the moment. You know, the shield block's okay, you gain the armor and cycle. The brawl's probably going to be useful later on, although can be a bit tricky versus Zoolock because of the death rattles. Execute, again, just too early. And the belt just going to be coming to the game, I think, far too late with this kind of hand.
Yep. He needs a weapon, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The brawl is great against the zoo, but you need a weapon to complement the turn. Right? After the brawl, right? You need to somehow close the turn with the remaining minion after the brawl.
Yeah, I believe this turn can be really tough for MooDy. Like, going Knife Juggler is a bit greedy, but you know that the opponent didn't keep any cards. So the chance of Fairy War Axe is pretty low.
Yeah, and then, I was going to say, so there's 3 levels there where you either go greedy for the Knife Juggler, you go either just Void Walker and keep the coin, or you could have actually put out Peddler just to give you more options for turn 2 to potentially do Void Walker and another 1-drop. So, you know, a nice mix of options there, and he did play probably just the safest route, keep hold of the coin, play the Void Walker, and, you know, pretty much test whether there's a Fiery War Axe, because if there is, it's going to get equipped and kill this Void Walker.
Yeah, I believe the Void Walker will for sure a good play here.
Yep, so the follow-up now, I mean, are you confident to play the Knife Juggler now? Do you want to coin out the Imp Gang Boss, or just play the Peddler and just keep going in a much more steady rate?
I believe the Peddler will be the choice, yeah, but it's a hard one, really tough.
Yeah, why would you go for Peddler over, say, Juggler now that you've seen no weapon?
Giving more opportunities, like he can coin something if you get a good 1-drop, and then he can follow up with a Imp Gang Boss.
Yeah.
But he will probably do the offensive play with Knife Juggler.
Yeah, looks like he's just getting on the board. And also, what's kind of good about this is, even if he's worried about Shield Slam, then it requires an armor up now because of the 1 attack from the Void Walker.
Definitely true, but I believe going for the aggressive route with Knife Juggler was the best option. Usually you won't have any value from the Imp Gang Boss because Armor Spell would have already been played. Acolyte of Pain was the turn for the turn 3, and you wouldn't have played the Acolyte of Pain. Sorry, you wouldn't have played the Imp Gang Boss in the Acolyte of Pain anyway, right?
Yeah.
So
This is there's so many options with these turns from MooDy here. Again, you could go for the Peddler one more time. You know, you can always squeeze that in and just do Peddler. And then if you don't get a good 1-drop, you know, you've got a good 1-drop already in hand to build up the board. Or you can just dump Imp Gang Boss on there now because you still see that he's just not got a Fiery War Axe.
I think there's only one option here, and that was Imp Gang Boss coin out Flame Imp this turn, just to have Defender of Argus available for the next turn, and have 2 really big minions that can be will be great against the Death Spike next turn.
Wow, look at this. If he goes Flame Imp, he can actually Flame Imp, coin Flame Imp.
Yeah, I like that
which is
play.
insane. Because you know Brawl's not coming out, you know, anytime soon. He gets at least 1 turn of attacks. Oh, is he not going to use the coin? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That seems weird. Like, is he like preemptively trying to play around Brawl here?
He's probably scared because when saw that yesterday, Unique really likes to beat people who's playing the offensive aggro deck, so he's probably playing around some whirlwind stuff.
Well, for now, it looks like, yeah, you can pressure his opponent, but it's only 6 damage per turn, so he needs some kind of boost here. I would say that you just live tap and play another Flame Imp and just attack face, because you need. This is a board that will not require a brawl, and if there will be a top decked weapon, you just weapon away the minions, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Right? And then you lose the momentum. So you need to pressure as soon as possible, and just replenish the board after a brawl, or after a double whirlwind effect, or after Baron Geddon. It's too far away. Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough one because you'd naturally like to just play Argus and just push for even more damage, buff the minions, and really pressure. But you know, when you've seen no weapons and barely any removal already, you're sort of starting to think, okay, it's getting progressively more likely that there's going to be a brawl in hand, so I don't want to play too much into it.
So will he just go for Flame Imp here? Or pass turn? I like the Flame Imp.
Yeah, I think the Flame Imp's just enough, because if you look at the rest of the hand, you know, he still has Imp Gang Boss to do, like tapping Gang Boss next turn maybe. So he still has plenty of options, and the Brawl does take up the whole of the Warrior's turn if that's what he's going to choose to do. Even this is an awkward brawl. Because if a Flame Imp survives, then, you know, it's still a good amount of pressure. Is there any reason to play the Sludge Belcher here, do you think?
I like the Sludge Belcher. I think Brawl is too risky, but yeah, he's actually going for it.
Okay, so what's going to take the... or at least win the brawl?
Flame
The
Imp.
Flame Imp,
Flame Imp.
okay. Not the golden one, though, so,
Nah,
you know,
too
slight
bad.
misplay. But yeah, this Flame Imp's still fine. Oh. Now I'm just looking at, like, Creeper, Coin Argus.
What about Creeper and Imgang Boss?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
that's
that
probably
as well.
better overall. You build the Argus up next turn, potentially.
Maybe not, because if your opponent is likely to top deck a weapon next turn, it gets closer and closer to a weapon next turn. So you would like to have the Haunted Creeper after Death Spite, an example.
And you can... It depends, because the problem is now, because he spent a few first turns, like, sort of not playing too much into Brawl. If he continues to do so, or at least, you know, play really safe, like tap in Gang Boss this turn, then, like, yeah, he's got a lot of cards, but the Warrior's still on full health, and then the longer the game goes, it looks like this Warrior's very defensive with, you know, the removal we've seen so far, the double Sludge Belcher, etc.
So he was going for the game boss into Haunted Creeper.
Yeah, I think this is fine.
Okay, turn 6, that's a lot of 6 drops. Oh, and the other weapon comes.
But it doesn't fit into the curve. If you would only have an Elise Starseeker this turn, that would be an awesome turn.
Yeah.
Play a 3/5 minion, basically the same as Belcher. It will clean up a minion later in the turn, and then you play the weapon and kill the Flame Imp. Because the life totals are still very high for the Warrior. The problem is he used already a Brawl, right?
Yeah, it was a very early brawl. Without there being too much on the board, actually. There wasn't, like, you know, massive amounts of pressure. There was just enough. Okay, so he chose to tap again. So this is he's really going with the tap-heavy approach here, just not really feeling threatened from the Warrior's potential damage. But it is just going to be tough to actually clear this off when you roll for 2 on an Implosion.
2 damage, yeah.
Still an easy way. Sacrifice Flame Imp, create a 1/1 with the Imgang Boss by attacking the Little Slime. Still pushing for 1 damage. It's not bad.
Gonna poke for 1 now and again.
Yep.
And you already saw 1 draw, so...
Chip off the health totals, and that's about it. But you have 4/6 attack on now after the brawl, so
And there's the
looking
Elise.
Yeah, go Elise Starseeker.
weapon killing down the Imgang Boss, but still 5 power remains to kill the Belcher if needed. But a power of a PO will just destroy this Belcher.
Yeah,
Oh,
especially when
double
you've got 2. You've got definitely got a lot of room to use this PO. I like PO, and then what do you think? Just drop
Defender
Argus?
Argus.
Yeah, Defender Argus PO. Probably life tap.
I don't think you want to live in this situation when you have already 2 POs and a Doom Guard. Probably just want to empty your hand. Maybe
Is it worth
silence is better.
Yeah, is it worth owling? Because the thing is, you've seen 1 Sludge Belcher already.
Then
Now this is the second one. How many more targets is there to actually
Yeah.
owl in Control Warrior? Like, there's probably not a lot, right?
maybe
There's like an
it's-
Acolyte.
Maybe it's just better to burst your opponent down with the power of overwhelmings.
Yeah, I believe Defender of Argus here. The question is, will he play around the second brawl? Trade 2 1/1s in, or will he trade with a buffet M?
I think it's really difficult to see a brawl this early. It's really difficult to try and play around it. Because, you know, you just want to pressure, because he took so long to actually push for some damage. I like this, where you just, you know, you keep your minions on board. The Fire Warwick still has to go into it at some point, or, you know, something. And now we see a Grom used as a removal for 2/2. And the second Power of Overwhelming is probably going to get some work done here. So I think he's not at the point where,
Abuse of Surgeon.
he could silence Grom.
He got 15 damage, that's a lot.
Yeah, well, he could silence Grom, set up the Voidwalker, and maybe an Implosion. And then next turn he has like PO and Doomguard.
Yeah, he's going for the
Oh,
life tap.
Juggler as well.
Knife Juggler into Implosion.
Yeah, I just like silencing Grom and just not worried about it. How's the Warrior going to burst you for 12 extra damage? So if you like went Juggler, Void... You might kill it depending on what comes out, but like you can Juggler, Voidwalker, Abusive, and I just like silence Grom, push face.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because like, look at the odds on you having something to power overwhelming before you play Doomguard that next turn. Like, you're just going to, right?
Yep. Well, the Grom is not a threat anymore, it's just a big Yeti. That's it
Yep.
about it. Push for damage now. You can't really play around second brawl.
I don't know if I like the clear.
I don't like it. I didn't like it.
The only reason is because now, like, if he didn't do that, then the warrior could have left the board full, and there's no Doom Guard. But if he leaves the board full, you push for so much damage regardless.
Yeah.
The warrior has to kill the minions at some point, right? And then you Doom Guard. So that was a kind of a weird play. I would have liked to just go phase there, personally.
Yeah, finish the game as soon as possible right now.
Yeah. And this is the drawback of, when you've fallen behind a little bit in warrior, where a card like Elise doesn't really do too much. Unless you can like God draw straight into that monkey, like,
So
and get
it's
the
one
taunt
of
on the board.
lethal right now. Is it? 2, 14, 15 damage, right?
Yeah, he got 15.
And no value in the coin.
And probably not worth tapping. You've used an abusive and 2 POs. Oh,
That
Void
is
Caller,
the
cool.
Void Caller.
I don't know about the tap. I don't know if there's any need to.
I like it. I don't think his life matter at all, and even though he already saw Grommash.
Yeah, with Grommash gone, I suppose it's okay.
Probably going for the Void Caller into Nerubian Egg.
Yeah, I think you definitely play the Void Caller now, purely because Doom
I
Guard's on
don't
the
think
board.
so actually, because
What, do
if you play the Void Color and somehow your opponent has the second brawl and can kill the Doom Guard,
Yeah, with
then
Execute.
you
or
have
something.
no way of winning the game. No way.
Is the PO gonna trade?
Wow, that's really weird. I mean,
He
we had
really
that
wants the
same
box.
situation yesterday with Moody's game when he Moody Games that he just was extensively trading too much,
Yeah.
and that made his games really clunky.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to get punished for it this game by the looks of things with a draw of Despite. Those double executes being in hand for the Warriors really hurt him. There's just, up until this point in the game, there's just been nothing worth executing, which is rough.
Yep.
And already now that's lethal, right?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's lethal because that's 9, 12 damage. Exactly 12 damage. Was it worth it to attack into the...
Oh,
Was
you
worth-
do it. Doom Guard, just to, you can't play them both, but just to see where the second Doom Guard
Was
whether
it
it's
worth to
playable.
attack into the creeper? I don't actually think so, because if you attack into the haunted creeper, next turn you clear the 1/1s anyway, and you have the triggers for both of the executes. So you give your opponent one more damage more,
Yeah, for
and
no
I'm
real
sure
reason.
that you can count that might be a 1 Doom Guard in the hand, right?
Yeah.
And you did count 1 PO already being played.
2 POs.
Two POs
Yeah.
being played. 2 Abusive Surgeon too. One Defender Vargas,
Yeah.
two Abusive Surgeons, and basically the only boosts that the only buffs that were left in the deck was a Direwolf and the second Defender Vargas. So
Yeah,
without,
pretty much.
without those cards, you didn't set up a way to be killed by your opponent. So I think the attack into the Hunted Creeper was something that should be reconsidered.
I think that play that we just saw then, I think MooDy did a really good job of just setting up the board that is threatening enough, but not overcommitting, and cause that early brawl. And once there's a brawl gone, that early, you're pretty confident they don't have the second one, so then you just splurge everything onto the board and hope it was good enough, and it turns out it was as well. I really like the Owl play, though. The Owl and the Grom was good. I don't know whether I would have traded personally, but the Owl was... Because there was nothing left after 2 Belchers, right?
Yeah. Moody is playing it really slowly. Like normally people want to finish the game as soon as possible, and then they're playing against the control warrior with Sue. But he's taking it chill, and he won the game that way.
Yeah, I think this is something like we discussed yesterday, where because this match is very important, right? You know, if you win this, you're through to top 4, and then you can carry on to potentially win the tournament. And I think certain players actually just play hyper safe and just like they just it's not necessarily playing badly at all, but they just choose the style of like, I will just not lose this game, and I will just give him no options whatsoever to come back.
But often this type of play will actually put you into a position where you lose more often than you would win.
Yeah.
Right. So this is nerves talking. Like those players are sitting in the broadcast tournament and they're like, "My God, I better not make a mistake and just leave the minion on board." Right. So let's just trade here and be more safe. But I think in this particular matchup, that was a really huge deal.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a fine line between not giving your opponent outs versus actually just winning the game. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's really tough to actually just play safely enough to secure the win without doing it, overdoing it, I guess.
Yeah, playing around too much stuff. It's really important to remember, play for win and not for not losing.
Yeah. So it looks like the next game's going to be locked in. When he does know he's against Zoo, so I imagine he's locking in his Warlock regardless of what it is, because you just feel it's got to be better than Druid, unless he's bringing like Mech Druid or something in there, which we could see.
He's actually going for the Sea Giant Zoo.
Yeah. That Void Caller could be pretty big in this match, actually. Because I feel like, because both Zoos, regardless of style, want to build up the board, the Sea Giant can get ahead. I'm surprised. I'm surprised he's actually even weighing up throwing that Sea Giant away. I would definitely keep that in the mirror. I mean, wow.
There's actually a Ooze as well.
Oh, okay.
It's
That's
an interesting list. Yeah, like we talked about, you need would probably bring something interesting, and now we see the Ooze in the Zoo.
That throw of the Sea Giant, though. I mean, would you keep it?
Yeah, I would keep the Sea Giant.
You're on coin as well. Like, oh wow, that was really interesting.
I bring that deck as well to the tournament, and I would keep it anytime.
Yeah. So this Void Caller is going to be interesting. I wouldn't even mind the Void Caller keep. It's a bit rough on turn going first, but the Void Caller might win you this mirror because we know that this isn't a demon mirror. If you just Void Caller into a Doom Guard, like. What does the Zoo play do? Because Void Caller's a good minion in itself as a 3/4. Like, it can do some work against Zoo as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. The only problem is that you need to find something for turn 3. Even a 1-mana minion and a tap, right? That's very important.
And that's what you got to rely on. Because you're playing Warlock, the odds on that happening across, like, you have a couple more turns to draw cards anyway because of the natural card draw, and then you can always tap maybe into a 1-drop.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of stuff you can use, like Dark Peddler's a 2-drop. You can use it as a 3-drop as well.
Yeah. So both players have Boom. I'll be really interested to see if Vanid's put anything else sort of funky in this deck. We see the Use, which is really interesting. And just, obviously just a tech card. We've seen a lot of people play Paladin. A lot of people play Warrior in this tournament. So understandably so. But yeah, I feel like just the more steady list is probably going to be a bit better for MooDy.
Well, I was playing double Ooze Zoo in my first appearance in Bucharest. No, second one. When I was playing in the top 8 against Gara. And it was actually a good metagame call. Nowadays, I think it's also a good metagame call, but there are a lot of more minions that are good 2-drops instead.
Yeah.
When I was playing the Uses, there was like, Knife Jugglers. And that's basically it, right? But
especially in Zoo.
Yeah.
Like,
but here you have Dark Peddlers, you have Hunted Creepers,
Jugglers.
You have Jugglers, you have a potential Owl. So there's a lot of other minions that could bring you, just better value in in some
consistency.
Matchups. Yeah, consistency and better value. But when you think about matchups that you usually lose against two, is because someone has a tempo swing with weapons. Because those are cleaning your minions, and this is why you need is bringing those Oozes, because they are still good minions in this like on its own. It's 2 mana 3/2. It's not bad. But when you destroy a weapon, that's probably gonna swing the game in your favor.
For sure.
MooDy sort of. I mean, you'll probably know more than I do, but likes to take his turns very slowly.
Yeah, like MooDy always, he consider roping.
He's the secondary life coach, I've decided.
Yeah, he believes it can tilt his opponent, and it's really important to consider the play a lot, because MooDy know that he get nervous sometimes, so always use the time.
Yeah.
So, will he go for the Knife Juggler and hope for a lucky trade, or no, it will be Dark Peddler?
I think this is okay, because it potentially fills out the curve next turn as well. So he did have the Voidwalker for next turn, but I like this. You can always like Knife Juggler Voidwalker next turn if the Creeper doesn't get popped. So then you can do multiple juggles.
Well, you have also Mortal Coil to finish off something. So I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's looking really good for Unid right now. But let's see. There's a Doom Guard and a White Collar on the hand.
Which is a huge swing, and there's no silence for Unid and no POs to make a favorable trade after the Doomguard will be summoned.
Yeah, and that's the problem Zoo actually really faces, and why the Sea Giants can be so impactful. Like, other than an Owl and sort of ignore it, or like double PO a lot of the time, or a PO on a lot of other minions, they can't really deal with anything big on the board, and then you can just race because you've got the bigger minions, which is why I was really surprised in the mirror the Sea Giant was thrown away.
Yeah, especially in this situation, look, the Sea Giant would have been replacing the Ooze, right?
Yeah.
And you have double
Yeah,
Haunted
and luck.
Creepers on board. So that's 4 minions just from
And
2
another
cards.
Haunted Creeper.
That is
That
just
you could have
crazy.
traded it. Oh my god, that's nuts. Which you could have run the Peddler in next turn.
Yep.
And oh my god, it's crazy.
Yeah, Sea Giant is for sure a really important card in this. He's going for the trade.
Yeah, and this kind of might look a bit wonky to a lot of people watching, but the trades like that are what actually win you games a lot of the time in the Zoom mirrors, because it's all about the board. You build the board, and then you win, and he really does just nail the juggle there as well.
Well, I was quite surprised that he goes for the Knife Juggler and Voidwalker here, but it turns out perfect for him.
Yeah,
Because it was more risky than the Mortal Coil.
Yeah, I was just thinking about why not Ooze and Mortal Coil
Yeah.
and just have the Knife Juggler for
I like the play, but I think he should have traded with the Dark Peddler first to make the chance of hitting the Flame Imp. This is looking pretty good.
This has to be the Void Color turn.
Yeah, for sure.
It would. Yeah, it's just
You
not
don't
worth
want to
anything else. It's
You don't want to tap into a different demon. You have the best demon available
Yeah.
right now, so just play the Void Color, and you know that if it gets killed, you are getting a 5/7 upgrade. So
And also,
Yep.
a lot of the natural response from the Zoom era in this situation would be to just ignore the Void Caller, because he can't potentially deal with a Mal'Ganis. So why would you pop Void Caller?
Yep.
You just wouldn't. So then it means that he gets value out of the Void Caller. He's not under a lot of health pressure at the moment, so he can start trading with the 3/4 and get some value there, and then go straight into Doomguard afterwards.
but wow, double destroyed weapon. That's just insane.
He can destroy the weapon and then jump on the pieces of it that are left just to crush it in even more.
Flame Whip is not really that tasty anymore. 6 damage to the face.
Yeah.
Not really good.
So,
Tap.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think now you have to tap because your turn's just bad otherwise. Like, just playing the egg isn't good enough. And you definitely don't want to just play Doomguard out of hand here in this situation.
That would be a waste for sure.
And this is where it's displayed how important the sort of value trades are. Whoa, okay. The value trades are in this matchup, because look at the Juggler and the Dark Peddler, both at 1 health, because they're just trading away with 1/1s and just trying to just keep that board down.
Yeah, they're doing really good. And there's also Direwolf Elf on the hand.
Yeah. But this game's really close. I don't even know who's really doing better here, to be honest.
It all depends on the cards like Void Color and Doomguards bringing in value. Because if we will see double Doomguards, and that's most likely what we will see, might be very hard for Unique to make a comeback here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe this game is really, really good to win if MooDy gets it, because then he will play his Zulak into a Druid. I think you really need this win, but it's looking pretty good for him, I believe.
Really interesting as well that we see just yet another form of Warlock. There's just so many variations.
Yep.
Because even this zoo is now sort of harkens back to a slightly older
Oh,
style. With
That
the
was,
Void
that was a slight misplay.
That placement.
He just lost 2 attack because of that.
Yeah, so he couldn't trade the new Rubian
Yeah.
with the Dark Peddler.
That, I mean, not only that, but he also lost the possibility of just attacking face.
Yeah, just
for
the
more
damage, yeah.
Well, that kind of sucked.
Yep. So another important card in this matchup is whoever draws Implosion first normally does pretty well.
Especially with
Sure.
Knife Juggler.
Yeah. So I imagine just Implosion, the 2/3 and Abusive here, just to get them off the board, and then you can go into, maybe you can save Abusive, but then you just want to go into Boom and then into
Now you
Doomguard.
want to play Boom next turn, so either Boom or Doomguard, but probably Boom, because you're at steady 22
Yeah,
health.
that's what I mean. That if you Implosion and then you Boom next turn, then you can
Yeah.
Abusive Doomguard later, or you can Abusive now. It's just I don't think Abusive does too much at the moment, because he's killing whatever minion he kills, other than putting a minion on the board.
I didn't like the tap though, because the tap is like, you want to play Doomguard at some point of the game, so why do you tap now? Because you have a plan for turn 7 and turn 8, so we
Yeah.
discard the card.
I believe he really doesn't care about his health, but yeah, the implosion for 2 damage, that really means a lot.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough because he's guaranteed the discard because although he can fit the cards he has in hand now for turn 7 and 8, he will draw a card as well, we'll draw 2 cards.
6 damage to the face. Oh!
Feels bad, man.
Feels bad, man. 6 damage to the face.
Doomguard's got to feel good. He's like, while I was on the board, this much damage happened to the Warlock. Not that I did it all, but...
How much is that? 10, 14, 16. 3 of lethal.
So you just slam boom, right?
Yeah, for sure. And
because the thing is, like, are you expecting 10 damage from hand with 2 cards, one of which he's had in the thing all game?
Not really.
Like even with Brand down, that's a bit of a bit of an ask.
But I believe the hard one here is: do you go face or do you actually clear the Brand to play around Defender of Argus? And it's also working pretty good with Dr. Boom.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think I personally would go face because you have so much burst and boombots next turn. But it's definitely valid to think about these things because Defender of Argus is a bit of a problem regardless of Brand. It makes it a bigger problem, of course. But I don't know. I like going face, but I wouldn't mind. I understand the trade.
MooDy trades only. He's like,
yeah.
He is programmed to trade.
Yeah, that's true. It is MooDy, so I'll take everything back I said. And of course he trades.
And that's probably the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean...
No.
Yeah, that's just it, isn't it?
You need to kill the...
Everything.
Yeah.
That was a good boombot though for him, that it did kill just the token, but...
8, 10, 15, 19 damage.
Oh, he need to do it in the right order.
Yep. Slow down. You definitely don't just throw Doomguard. Unless he's so confident he's going to throw the egg in the owl, that'd be sick. Like, this is how confident I am winning this game. He's just counting, right?
Yeah.
He's just making sure, like, triple checking. Because with this win, he actually goes 2-0 up as well, which is huge.
And he's favored in the next match.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so yeah, that's 14.
Oh, well, look at that. That's 5 left. Perfect for a Doomguard. There was some questionable plays from both players, but I think it all came down to the fact that you didn't trade with the Direwolf Alpha in that given moment against the Void Color, right? Because that was the turn when he could have killed with less investment to the board and maybe even sacrifice the Bran at some point to not get the 6 damage to the face from his own Flame Imp.
Yeah, and probably at the starting hand, keeping Sea Giant could probably change something as well.
Definitely.
Yeah,
like
that was
I think the combination of the Sea Giant throw versus the Void Caller keep and then drawing Doomguard just pretty much sealed the deal there. Because Void Caller is not a minion that Zoo can really deal with, other than like a silence. And then if you're silencing that, you're like, yeah, okay, cool. Because then like Argus targets and things like that are really good. But the fact he drew the Doomguard, and then the second one, of course, which gave him lethal, was huge. But the value, I mean, look at this. Like, it's so good. After all that trading, he has a Doomguard on board.
Yep, that was a huge deal.
Yeah, so the Sea Giant throw, man, that's just nuts.
The Sea Giant would be playable on turn 4.
Yeah.
Now that's a huge deal.
And then that would change the whole scope of the game because the Zoo cannot just take 8 every turn to face because you will lose. Like
it's not even that, but if you really need to trade, then you just kill the Void Collar and you trade the Sea Giant into a Doomguard.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, yeah,
but it's
it's
very
over.
likely that he would MooDy would have been forced to trade into the Sea Giant anyway because with that combo potentially to kill it off. Because like I said, if you just leave an 8/8 up, because it would have had priority because it would have been on the board first to just attack face, it would have been just too much to deal with.
Yep. For now, MooDy is leading 2-0 with the Zoo deck against a Druid. So unless this Druid is packing some unusual cards like Mind Control Tech and
Mind Control Tech
I don't even know what else should be there. But there's the Swipe already in opening hand. And even if you are going first, I feel like the Swipe needs to be kept in the hand. Because you can't really win this game without the Swipe or an Innervate Keeper.
Yeah, this Morgan's okay though. The BGH is going to be a tough one because you can play it on tempo if there's nothing else, but realistically you want to save it because you know it's demons, so there's a chance of Mal'Ganis depending on how the game goes. He can live in roots with 2 1-1s, which is going to be nice for turn 1, always good versus aggro, but overall, I mean, I just would expect to see the Voidcaller keep again, just because the card's so good.
Yeah, for sure. And against the Druid is fine as well. Like,
yeah. And there's like no good way, right? Because if they silence the Voidcaller, then they need something else to kill it with on the same turn, maybe. If they don't and they use swipe, then they swipe it and you could potentially just throw out a Doomguard straight after. So he did choose to throw the whole hand, which is kind of strange to me because now he's been replaced by, got punished a little bit. He has that turn 1 play and then nothing else for the rest of the game. But yeah, like I don't know. I would just like the Voidcaller keep.
yeah, he got punished hard. I think this game is really up to us. He gonna do the tempo big game hunter? Will he keep the whole game? He knows there's a Dr. Boom, and that's probably Mal'Ganis. We know that is one, but I believe he will keep it.
Oh my god, imagine if he kept Voidcaller.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Not keeping Voidcaller when you're going second, it's very questionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, it is tough.
And for
Because
sure in
we're
this
saying as well,
matchup.
like the Druid has no good way of dealing with it in,
Yep.
in one turn that early. Like,
Even if it's like silence,
yeah, it's
sure.
still 3-4.
3-4,
Yeah.
now I just defend of August this and deal with it, bro.
Yeah, then you just kill the Keep of the Grove. Yeah, it's really interesting for that throw. So kind of similar to what happened last game when the need threw the Sea Giant. Just an interesting play. But the Voidwalker is going to come down, so that's going to require both tokens and a hero power to kill this turn. But I imagine we're probably just going to see the Wild Growth. You just need to ramp up, but probably into Swipe sooner rather than later.
Yeah. I believe you need really wants to draw another 4-drop, like Keeper, Pilot Shredder for sure would be the best. Instead of all the spells, but and a Haunted Creeper is a really good top deck in this situation.
It's just going to be interesting where, so if Anid whiffs the next turn, so, you know, Ancient of Law, whatever, like, do you think he's going to play BGH, or do you think he's just going to be happy with the hero power?
I think he will be obliged to just play the Big Game Hunter,
Right.
although
It's hard not
really,
to play, right?
It's really needed against Mal'Ganis or Dr. Boom or what else? Sea Giant if he plays one, but he saw the Voidcaller as the most likely no.
Yeah, it's most likely
No
just all
Sea Giants,
demons,
right?
yeah. It's like, oh no, I can't play Mal'Ganis on turn 2. Never mind.
MooDy is actually bluffing every single turn, and that's not how bluff works.
Yeah.
Because now everyone knows he's doing that, so no one really cares.
And he's doing it no matter what.
Yeah. Until the one time he isn't bluffing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that is interesting. When you do the same thing every single match, it becomes like
Normal.
ignorable. Yeah.
Dark Peddler. MooDy really got some good top decks right here.
Yep. Dark Peddler's huge because he can potentially fill out his curve with a 1-drop, or he can just actually just play it as a minion and be happy that he can play something this turn. Again, MooDy just pondering very deeply over whether he plays this 2-drop or not. I'd be amazed if he tap passes.
He doesn't like to give information to the opponent. Angry Chicken.
You go for the BM Angry Chicken. Or Goldshire Footman to soak up those hero powers maybe, but being completely honest, it's probably going to be Power Overwhelming here. Is he really weighing up the Goldshire?
Yeah, I believe it could be alright.
Well,
I don't think those words have ever been spoken.
But yeah, Power Overwhelming.
I just feel Power Overwhelming is too good because if you look at the board, if Druid of the Claw comes out now, you can actually just kill it.
Yep.
Right, which is too good to pass up as Zoo, right? Just one minion, Power Overwhelming done, and he still has mana to follow up with that turn.
Yeah, and this is why the Big Game Hunter probably should have been played last turn, right? Oh wait, he wouldn't be able to kill the 1/2 Voidwalker. No, never mind then.
Yeah, he would have left the Voidwalker out.
Yeah.
So, Nerubian Egg.
Another good draw. So MooDy's actually just living off top decks at the moment. With his early hand being so bad, he's actually gone Creeper, Peddler, Egg, and he can like tap Egg now, which I would love to see because he has all the health in the world. And gets the Egg on the board to be, and he has the activate with Power Overwhelming as well, so I think he's in a really strong position.
And an Abusive Surgeon. That's really good later on.
He can just kill anything that's dropped next turn easily and still be way ahead on board.
Yeah. I believe we will see a Nerubian Egg here for sure.
Yeah.
But it will probably take some time.
Yeah, he's going to weigh up whether he wants to play this boom with 2 mana left.
Yeah, all the Mulganas, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
this
tough-
time I will have
it's a
enough
tough
mana to
call.
play it.
I believe
He
I
has
would
a
use both,
coin.
yeah.
So okay. So as a player, would this bother you the way MooDy plays? Like honestly, you don't.
Like for real, I spoke a lot with MooDy about it, like why do you do it? And he thinks if he plays really slow, then the opponent will get mad and play faster, and that way he will do a misplay.
Okay.
That's like his strategy about it. But I don't like it, and I would never do it on ladder for sure. But
Oh my god, doing that to someone on ladder. Wow. Yeah. So do you think we go Power of Worm and Abusive this turn?
yeah,
Or just onto the egg because you save the Creeper's Death Rattle and also you 2/2.
I would for sure play around swipe, and I would never go for implosion here. So I believe it's the power well abuse, the haunted creeper probably, something like
Yeah,
that.
I think that seems fine. You get a 4/4. Your board is very swipe proof.
Yep.
You've
That's
seen
the
the
most important thing. to
Exactly,
be-
yeah. So you don't need to like just PO and then run the 1/1 in because then you're just giving him tokens to be able to swipe down. So.
Yep.
But he could still play Mal'Ganis, so there's always the plays to consider.
Or the Dr. Boom.
Yeah, exactly. There's always the options, guys. This is Hearthstone. Yep, so just going the trade with the egg. Gets the 4/4 spider at the end, which is going to be nice. And this is not really... It's not the worst swipe I've ever seen, but it's definitely not great.
The problem is you... Oh, wait, he just top decked the Shade of Extremis.
Who cares? It's got Dr. Boom, Lothar.
Yeah, that took around 3 seconds to figure out, hey, it's green, let's go for it, Dr. Boom.
But it's off curve. So is he potentially next turn? Obviously, depending on how this board looks, he can actually Force of Nature and swipe, so can probably clear the board no matter what happens next turn.
Mhm.
With the bombs and Dr. Boom helping out, of course.
But low tap, like those top decks for MooDy are just, like insane.
He's not touched the first 5 cards, including the coin,
Yeah.
for most of the game, and he's just been like, I'm gonna just draw exactly what I need every turn.
I really don't get the trades. If you just play the low tap, you're swipe proof, Force of Nature
And then you just
proof,
win next turn.
and you just win
Because
next
he has
turn.
Doomguard.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Why are you
you wanna
trading
know
so
why?
much?
He's moody.
Yeah,
This is what he does. And he is 2-0 up. So he, what he's doing is working. It's just very, very, very defensive. Because now swipe's actually amazing, unless he
Yeah.
plays Lothar.
but if you played low, if you
Oh, he
want
can
to
still
play low
swipe.
tap,
he can swipe, he can clear the board.
Yeah.
Okay.
well,
So at least he has his follow-up now of Dr. Boom, which is pretty good. You've just seen swipe. We can see that holding on to that BGH, although might have hurt him in the early game a little bit. It's going to do some work this turn. But the issue is after BGH, there's still the boom bots, so the boom bots are probably going to kill the big game hunter, and then like Mal'Ganis is going to come down at some point, which
Yep.
then suddenly the druid's like, oh, because most druids only play 1 BGH. There's some lists that run 2 if they want to be, if they like meta call, I guess. But yeah, the options would have to be something along the lines of like Force of Nature, Hero Power, or if he draws a Wrath or a Keep of the Grove.
Yeah, I really like Dr. Boom here. Probably I would consider Cunning Voidwalker, since if there comes a big game hunter, he can do Implosion on the big game hunter and follow up with Mal'Ganis
Yeah.
and buff all the small minions.
And also protect like the potential of like Hero Power into a Boombot just to get it off the board.
Yeah.
well, Innovate again helps a lot here.
Is this full Golden Druid from an
Is it? Well, he didn't have the coin, so we couldn't see it.
I think it is. You've got double Force of Nature Golden and double Shades that you've crafted. We're really discussing the important parts of this game. Now the second Doomguard. Wow.
See the boom bots first, and then you plan.
Yeah, I kind of like running the Boombots in. You run them into the big game hunter, right?
Yeah. Are these the first one, and then you see
Yeah,
what's the
and
outcome.
then, progress from there. Oh,
White coat.
woo! That's a pretty good draw.
Why would you tap before trading first with the
No,
boom
no.
bot?
What?
Trade first.
I don't know. This is really weird.
Yeah.
Overkill! Oh, wow. Never punished. Okay, so I guess he just has to play the Voidwalker now.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you don't have any other options.
Yeah. So he's still out of range of lethal from like a combo. So he's on 22, but with the Voidwalker there, it's going to take some removal. The Force of Nature the first Force of Nature has been reduced by 1 mana, which is might help squeeze some stuff in later on. But I imagine we're just going to see Druid of the Claw into Shade here.
Shade and Rat.
Yeah.
Like everything here.
I imagine he's going to play all of the cards he can play this turn here.
Yeah, you just. I mean, it's not really. It's important to squeeze the damage in right now, not to play the trading game for the Druid, because you know that the way you want to win this game right now is just to combo it out or just squeeze the 2 Force of Natures to deal the damage.
Yeah.
How much damage is there on the board? 4, 8, 11, 17, 18 with hero power. So that's exactly lethal, right? So you're pushing your opponent to have another PO and an Abusive Surgeon example to make a good trades.
So is it just Mal'Ganis and then Claire? So it's only
Yeah,
Shade left?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe so as well.
Feels really rough as well, because like you just go rewind the time a little bit and you look at this hand, and if he had Void Caller early on, it would be insane. Whereas now he doesn't have the time to actually squeeze Void Caller in, which is the real problem. Like the reason he didn't play it last turn was there's so much damage represented that combo just wins him the game like straight away. So we got to see the Mal'Ganis come down, the trades as you said, and. Yeah, I mean, it can be cleared up, but if it's cleared, then there's less chance, some more burst is going away now.
I don't think you need to clear it this turn.
You think you can just play Shredder?
I would just play the Shredder and...
He's trading with Shade.
Wow.
Hero powering.
Okay, that was weird. I would have just...
I thought the Shade, especially with... okay. I suppose the Shredder's pretty sticky, so he's relying on that, because if he top decks the Savage Draw now, but the Shredder's cleared up, he doesn't win. Whereas if he kept the Shade, then his health doesn't matter and he would win. So that's definitely an interesting one.
This is a really hard play, since he got the Flame Imp on the hand, the Void Caller won't be that good. So I believe there's a chance he will actually just go for the Doom Guard here.
Yeah, would you go Doom Guard and then potentially play Void Caller if it's kept? I'll just play anything else, like double Doom Guard.
Yeah, double
oh my
Doom
god,
Guard
that's
probably.
the play. Throw the coin. Throw the coin in the Flame Imp. We don't care about those anymore. I think you have to, actually.
I believe
I think
so
it's
as
worth
well.
the risk. Because the Druid can't deal with both, right? Or can't realistically deal with both on one card.
Yeah, I would for sure Doom Guard here. I don't see a reason to live tap. So let's see.
MooDy is known for 2 things. Live tapping and trading. So I wouldn't be surprised for the tap.
No.
Oh, so he's just like... He's just choosing to lose to combo, basically. Which is fine. Like sometimes if you want to make that play, you can choose to just say, well, if you have it, you have it. If you don't, I probably win with with a Doom Guard next turn.
Druid is at 23 HP. He doesn't care about the minions. Just go face, deal damage, hero power.
I think you Force of Nature now, right?
But then you have no outs
That's swipe.
and keeper. Okay, yeah.
That's what I mean, because if Argus comes down...
Actually, not really, because you are not dealing the 7th damage with the hero power. So maybe it was better to keep it.
Another Flame Imp.
And now, the Flame Imp.
Well, you can trade the Void Caller first, so it's not that bad. You have a 66% percentage to get Doom Guard, so it's
Oh,
fine.
you got it. So you definitely slammed the second Doom Guard
Yeah,
now.
well, the coin for 5 mana is not really useful.
Do it for the BM if he's not gonna live tap.
Oh, you just can't life tap, right?
Yeah,
There's no way you can life tap to 6 versus Druid.
I wouldn't live tap at all.
Well, if you live tap to 6, and you can't even use most likely the cards that you will get,
It's crazy.
then what's the point, right? Because then you die to the second Force of Nature. You're getting
Druid of the
closer
Claw,
to the
Savage Draw.
swipe, because swipe is right now is very far away from killing you.
Yeah.
And if you tap, then it will be at 6. You have 2 turns to deal for 24 damage. So that's definitely not correct.
So he has lethal over 2 turns now. Azure Drake is actually pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
Put a good body on the board. He knows he's... Oh.
He just setting up for lethal next turn. I like that.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because he knows that if there will be no Taunter, so no Defender of Argus, 2 Void Walkers were already played,
Yeah,
he
that's
just
true.
wins
Yeah.
with the hero power. And he has so much outs next
And he
turn.
still has to draw next
2
turn, right?
Keepers, 1 Swipe,
Druid of the Claw.
Druid of the Claw. Oh, look at that.
The Defender of Argus.
Rescued! Maybe. Because there are still 2 draws next turn.
Yeah.
So, is it just a double Doomguard here?
Why double Doomguard and not just the egg?
Egg?
You need, if your opponent wants to kill the minions, you need to go through the
I
egg.
think Egg Doomguard is fine. I wouldn't do Egg Imp.
No,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure
yeah,
not.
definitely.
Like, stuff's
Like,
too low. But I think Egg Doomguard is fine because that's his 6 health he's got to get through. Or
Yeah.
Silence, which, you know, well, it wouldn't be Silence because if he had it, he would just keep it the growth of his face. But yeah, I like this play because then if he clears or tries to clear somehow, then he actually just puts 4 more power on the board or 3 more after the
And now 2 cards will
Here
be
we
drawn
go.
for...
Swipe,
you need
Living
Swipe!
Roots.
Innovate! Not really.
Ooh.
One of the useless cards.
One
so
of the
now
times when Innovate's terrible.
Yep.
Okay.
And swipe
No!
from the top of the deck. Please swipe. Yes. The Doom card.
Wow.
The swipe.
So that was close.
Really close game.
It was way closer than it should be. I think like if MooDy would have been more aggressive the whole game, they wouldn't have come to this point where the Druid was just basically
Yeah, I mean,
on the edge of the knife.
he
right?
had double Doomguard in his hand for so long, like he could have got those out earlier, and even if he threw one, then he would have been able to, you know, like stack the 5 attack damage
that was-
with multiple turns.
Again, a game where MooDy didn't use the coin at all.
Yeah.
It's like
Coin's too fast, Lothar.
But
Nice
what
to
you
take
play
it slow and
Zoo.
steady.
you play Zoo, you take advantage of multiple minions. You can squeeze that. You exchange the coin for a minion, basically. So it just begs to be used, and especially in matchups against the Druid, right? So it's kind of weird to see this kind of way of playing again in those specific matchups.
Yeah, I believe MooDy should have played it a bit more offensive for sure.
Now we can see some replays from the entire game. Like this trade for the Dr. Boom
And this
was
order,
questionable, but
he should probably have used Dr. Boom now before trading, because now he won't have played for the Boombots. And I believe that's why
well,
he changed his
he went
mind.
for the low tap, right? But
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if he would have done that if he had played for both Doombots.
okay, I don't want to be disrespectful. Maybe I'm wrong with that term.
That was a big turn away where we saw the boom but actually sniped the shade. That was pretty big as well because the Druid was so close to lethal, the shade didn't get to attack. And, you know, that could have easily been hidden for a couple more turns. And again, this turn as well where he threw a shade when he could have hero powered and he would have took 9 obviously to the face. But, you know, would the shade grow in, would have, you know, like outdone that damage over time. So definitely a tough one, but as your Drake into the swipe did finish the game up, and he did have a few outs. He played no Keeper of the Groves that game.
Yeah,
There
two
was still
keepers
the
of grove, swipe,
Was that it?
and he could have
Living Roots, the second Living Roots.
I don't think he plays 2, but
Okay,
if
yeah,
he
if.
is playing 2, then he had another out. And with Innovate, Wrath was another draw that
Yeah.
he would have get deeper into the deck.
Into
So
Ancient of Law, into Draw, into...
after Azure Drake, not possible. He would have to get... No, that was... No, wait. 1 out. Because he would have played Azure Drake into Innovate Ancient of Law,
Yeah, into Innovate.
Innovate Living Roots.
Yeah, see, it's
That
doable.
was
It's doable. It's doable. Bit far-fetched, but it's definitely doable.
I see you play a lot of Pokemon.
Okay, so we are going to go into MooDy's locked in his what looks to be Secret
Yeah.
Paladin, I imagine, versus Oneed's Druid. Obviously, he only has Druid left, and Oneed is rocking that Harrison Druid as well, so that might have some influence on the matchup overall, but I still think the Paladin's okay in this match.
Yeah, for sure. I believe it's fine.
I think the Druid really needs like either the early, like the Living Roots early, and like a good swipe to be able to really claw this back. Pun intended.
Just right now, MooDy's hand looks fine. Like, he got Shielded Minibird, he got the Master for Battle, he got
Yeah.
the most important cards, so let's see if he can follow the curve.
Yeah, and even Blessing of Kings, like if there's not a swipe, Blessing of Kings becomes very, very good because the likelihood on one of you know, Muster for Battle tokens staying alive is pretty high.
Well,
That's an interesting one actually. Do you throw Kings or do you keep it? It's a bit risky to keep it, but
you're
look at
going
what
second.
look at what you have. Oh wow.
Oh, and
Woof.
a secret.
Okay, so Secret Keeper. Well, he's got the perfect curve, right?
Yeah, for sure. Now he just needs the master.
What are
The
you talking
challenger.
about? Yeah, I was gonna say now he just needs the challenger, the boom, the Tyrion, and then that's just ridiculous. You can just whack in Lotheb there just for fun.
So, now we got around, I don't know, 1 minute, then MooDy is gonna consider what he's gonna do.
He will touch the Blessing of Kings for sure, like twice.
He will. He will touch the Blessing of Kings.
Yeah.
He will,
Maybe
hover the
it's
cursor
a
over it.
knife juggler.
So do you guys Secret Keeper here and save coin?
Yeah.
Or do you want to get the mini bot out quick because you have Creeper?
By the way, look at Anid. He's just like, yeah, I don't care what you do.
I'm not like, I'm actually pretty chill. I'm pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I'm not even watching you. You just take your time. I'm thinking about something else. What will I take for dinner, an example, today?
Was it you that mentioned the other day about like it would be funny if the players could talk to each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sick. I'd just be like, good rope, bro. Good rope.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks
So
like he's
he's
going
going
for the
for the
coin
coin.
into double 2 drop, yeah.
Playing is really offensive.
I don't understand this, to be
No.
honest.
Normally you want to like turn 5 coin into challenger, and he has a perfect curve, so...
I just like the Secret Keeper because it's such a threat. It's like the smallest threat in the game early on because it
Sometimes
needs
the
to be dealt
druid-
with.
Sometimes the dude will just ref that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, it has to be dealt with, and then suddenly the rest of your minions is so much more safe. Like, because, like, for example, if a Wrath is gone,
And
like, it's so
even if you
huge.
top deck at Secret for turn 2, there's no difference between Secret Keeper on turn 1 or 2 when you have coin in hand,
Yeah.
and it still dies to ref.
Yeah.
So the only difference would have been here that you can play Secret Keeper with 2 secrets in one turn, and I could understand that, but in this
But you have no
situation,
secrets, right? So it's
now
never
you're,
worth.
now you're off curve because you use the coin. So it seems like if you keep the coin and go turn 1 Secret Keeper, turn 2 mini bot, and then you have a coin, a Blessing of Kings against the Druid is just ridiculously
Because you can just
good.
skip muster and play around swipe.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can just choose to skip it and just be like, well, if you have swipe, I get locked down. So I'm just not going to give you that option and play Blessing of Kings
And
instead.
then you have the Pulse Shredder after that. It's like perfect scenario, but now it looks really awkward. Although Unid has an awful hand, and MooDy will probably take advantage of this, but playing Secret Keeper turn 1 and capitalize on the coin possibility with Blessing of Kings just looked so much better.
Yeah. So because of that, he is forced into the... Well, maybe not forced, but the muster is the better play over Secret Keeper Hero Power. Just because it enables the weapon as well, so that's pretty nice. And the Innovate Emperor.
Yeah, for
always fun. And I think he needs to as well, because again,
Well, he
you know,
has
we
an
looked at his
awful
hand.
hand.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
hand's bad, so you can at least make it a little bit better by reducing the cost down.
Competitive spirit.
Ooh.
Well, probably now, knowing MooDy, he will play Blessing of Kings on the 1/1 and trade.
Yeah. Because the problem is, if you... Like, Secret Keeper Comp Spirit looks good, and then you realise you have to trade minions into the 5/5, so suddenly Comp Spirit doesn't look as good. Yeah, I like Blessing of Kings here. Unless he wants to reduce swipe down, trade in, and then play the Shredder or something.
Yeah, I
Well,
believe
he's
you
not
could do that
playing-
as well.
He probably would have played Swipe after the Masterful Battle, even though it would have spawned the 2 1/1s. So I guess another option is to play just the Secret Keeper, Competitive Spirit, and Hero Power, and trade Minibot and Spider.
Yeah, and then
And
try and
just-
max value from the
Yeah.
Comp Spirit. Oh,
You don't give a shit about swipe.
yeah.
Yeah, swipe, hero power.
Well, he knows there's no Swipe in the hand,
Yeah.
my guess.
Top
Because
deck
it would have
swipe.
been for 3 mana.
No,
So
Savage Row.
Yeah, like you can see, Unid is playing really, really fast compared to MooDy right now.
I suppose
well, he has no not that
relevant
many
of his
options.
hand as
He's
well,
like
yeah.
limited when it comes to what can he do.
But yeah, like MooDy, even though if you only have one option, he would still use a lot of time.
Yeah. we have noticed this.
And based on
Um,
that, he made a huge mistake on turn 1. So I don't know if that actually is
It's worth it.
worth it.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of like outplaying himself right now. He just spent too much time on the turn 1. This is kind of like the reverse situation with the coin that he had. Secret Keeper will not be used to like I don't know when. Probably the turn 5, right?
Well, the funny thing now is, like, Shredder Comp Spirit looks okay.
Yeah.
But then you Comp Spirit without the Secret Keeper down, so then it still,
Exactly.
returns to being just a 1-2. And late game, the Secret Keeper isn't a threat. It's a huge threat turn 1, but later on, when, the Paladin pretty much runs out of cards, like, playing Secret Keeper is just a 1-2. Like, the Druid doesn't have to worry about it too much.
The keeper, the druid player can't really ignore the secret keeper.
Yeah, on turn 1.
It's at some point it will be just so big, maybe even threatening before it gets big. Then you need to keep it away from the board with the wrap
12.
or swipe.
12 damage.
Oh, what top deck?
Boom.
I mean, Shredder's a pretty good follow-up as well, because it's just another sticky minion. I would actually just go face.
Yep.
To be honest, drop Shredder, hero power, or
Well, there's a chance there might be a swipe because your opponent did draw 2 cards. So there's in those 2 cards there might be the swipe, and in the third card that being top might be a swipe.
I think because even after a swipe, there's still trades that need to be
That's
made.
that's another thing that I wanted to point out.
right.
Yeah. So but even the swipe, if there's a swipe, you don't have a good way of clearing the board.
Yeah.
So being hyper aggressive in this situation is probably the way to go.
Yeah. And with like 2 Shredders as well, like
Yeah,
there's
what
so
you gonna
much.
do
Like,
with,
it's
when those minions even will be 2/2?
yeah, it's crazy. Just any minions that could actually do an attack would be nice.
For sure, probably go for the Secret Keeper over Hero Power just for the 1 health. The
Yeah,
game will-
yeah, sure. Like that's pretty cool. And now, yeah, I'm struggling to see a way out. Oh yeah, I mean it's way too early. I was looking at like the combo with double Savage Roar, but then I realized 7 mana. Like even an Innovate doesn't help here, guys. Like,
He would have to get like two Savage Roar being discounted by Emperor,
yeah,
and
Innovate.
having an invade.
Yeah, he's looking for the Doomsayer.
So what are the options? Savage Roar right now, and kill the kill the Paladin for
but
Doomsayer.
even then he's only 1 off
And
lethal.
that's
So
it.
there we go. Wow,
Well,
that game got out of control very swiftly.
Unid was punished. By the way, the druid loses most of the time, so draw poorly.
I mean, I think he's
get
opening
overrun.
his opening hand. He had like what, Drake, Harrison,
Ancient of Law, Harrison, and Azure Drake.
Yeah, and he got Thorison really early, which he could innovate into, but even that felt a bit slow versus that kind of board.
Yeah, the
Crazy.
hand
It
was
it
just
didn't
slow.
really help.
No
Yeah.
wraths, no swipes. It was just very, very punishing there.
But we have MooDy. Congratulations, MooDy. You are advancing to the top 4.
Hey guys, thank you.
So I have to ask, why didn't you play the Secret Keeper on turn 1?
Why didn't I play?
The Secret Keeper on turn 1, and instead of went for the coin
because
mini bot.
I had the car. I had coin into 2-drop, into 2-drop, into 3-drop, into blessing. I wanted to. I think coining out mini bot with a good follow up is better, and I didn't have any secrets in hand to buff my.
But don't you think threatening with a Secret Keeper to a druid that has to take care of the Secret Keeper, although it's only a 1/2 minion because basically it's an Undertaker, and you can coin out Blessing of Kings for your mini bot with Divine Shield?
I think better druid. I think he wants to be proactive, not reactive. So his best opening would be Wild Growth into Shredder. So if that happens, I would much prefer to have one. No, I would much rather prefer.
I have the mini bots and the 2 drops.
Yes,
on
because
bots.
I couldn't buff the he doesn't know that I can't buff my Secret Keeper.
Yeah.
But if he plays like that with Wild Growth into Shredder, I will just have a 1-2 on the board. So
Okay, well, you had a convincing win, 3-1 against Unid. Unid is knocked out of the tournament during the round of 8, and now you will be facing Powder after the next 2 matches, right? Because you are in the upper bracket, so you'll be facing the winner of the previous game. So you have a lot of time to prepare mentally for that. You still have like at least 3 hours before your next match, so you can take advantage of that. Anything you can add to the conversation about the games? Anything particular, like anything really interesting was happening?
well, not really. I think I was really lucky in this series. So
Okay.
as long as I have really good luck and I don't play suboptimally, I should have a good chance. And I'm looking forward to play the rematch against Powder.
Okay.
How confident do you feel against Powder now that I'm guessing you watched his game earlier, so you know his lineup pretty much, maybe not card for card, but you know it, versus your lineup, because obviously he will know yours now.
Well, I'm afraid of his patron, but I think his warlock should be really weak against me. So if I can get rid of patrons, I think I should win that. But patrons can trio me, so
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
yeah.
Okay then. Any more other questions, Destin?
No, like I just like the lineup, like we spoke about it before. So yeah, congrats, and I like to see that it works really good for you against Unique. So.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay then. So that is for now with the top 8, and then we'll be having another quarterfinal in just a few minutes. So we'll go into a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Hearthstone action.